let's talk about who Andrew Tate is. So don't forget that Andrew Tate's father was in the government, in the CIA, and even if your parent or someone in your family is, indirectly you will always be in that type of organization. Once somebody in your family is, there's some type of watch list you and your family will always be on once you start to participate in that organization, whether you leave it or not, whether you agree with it or not. So he's not a simple person. He's not just some random man who made it. And like I said, I don't care if he said his father didn't take a certain deal and that, he lived poor. Listen, anybody could tell you anything, so I'm not gonna sit here and believe a random famous man who out of nowhere popped up. Second of all, personally, I believe this entire thing with him is all scripted. He is definitely a robot clone made in a lab. The diaper wearing Nazis created him in a lab. He's 100% robot. He has many clones. And, that little fight that he had was so cute because I really thought he was going to win, but they made him seem human. And, he got tired and he's 40. It's like, shut up, diaper clinic. Like, he didn't he didn't lose because he got tired. It was a scripted event to make him lose, and that's just how it was. Also, I don't really believe, like I said, I don't believe in his lawsuits. I believe all of this has to be scripted. And if he says he went to jail, he probably did go to jail, but you got to remember certain things. When certain people go to jail, I'm not going to say too much here, but at the end of the day, like, it's very irritating seeing people really look at him as a hero and they don't realize who, or rather what he is, right? I would even like to say there's a possibility he doesn't even exist. He just has a bunch of robots and clones. And another thing, I'm going to talk about this later on, but all those red pill men who talk about, oh, women shouldn't have any rights, blah, blah, blah. Well, when women have no rights, it's a satanic society where the satanic cult both does satanic rituals on men and women. And you see, the way Satanism works, they need to get you to agree and they need to get you to accept. That's why, how all the red pill men who are somehow, for some reason, also federal agents of some kind, right? Myron's family, Myron is a Fed, and his family is in Sudan. He has people who work in the government in Sudan. And Sudan, they have satanic rituals on women, and they sell people over there, the Sudanese government. So, at the end of the day, right now, like, the main thing is to remember he's not some like hero who made it and like had a couple girlfriends break his heart, and now he's like, yeah man, like go get fit and I'm your manly hero because I'm tired of seeing men in dresses, and go. And that's what the satanic cult will do. They will hire somebody to pretend that they are your hero, that they are the representation that you need, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be careful because these are all federal agents. And it should concern everybody that a bunch of federal agents are telling people to give up their rights. So, and I hope men understand that in a society where women have no rights, y'all are under watch too. You will not have, there's a lot of rights you will not have. There's a lot of things you will get severely punished for by the satanic cult. And, like I said, where women have no rights, I'm not going to talk about it here, but the most horrific satanic rituals are done to women in those countries, where there's this one that really crosses the line completely. Many people could even guess which one, but I'm not going to talk about it here. But it, that's what people need to like really understand. It should freak you out. it should freak you out that a bunch of federal agents are telling you give up your rights, because like I said, they can't just come in with the army and take away your rights. You need to agree and accept. That's why they're saying to that a lot of women, they were happier, or they shouldn't have any rights, they should give up their rights. So why don't you just do it? You can't, because you need people to agree and accept. So, and I of course don't agree and I don't accept to give up my rights or our rights to Satan, Satanism, the devil, the Nazis, to any creepy cult, to any creepy organization. Cancel, delete, and clean. you know and what do you call it? Also, this Mr. Godly Andrew Tate, Andrew Butt Plug Diaper Clinic Tate, robot clone Tate, he has a satanic hypnotist on his team. And it's kind of like, okay, it's one thing to interview, because I hate when I see people, they're like, oh, if you interview, you're a sellout. If you interview somebody, you're a sellout, or that means you agree with them. It's like, no, I could hate your guts, but I might want to interview you because I have a reason to interview you. So I don't agree that you shouldn't be able to interview people, but I do um want to point out that he's a federal agent. So a lot of the red pill men are army federal agents. And um for some reason Andrew Tate really needed a satanic hypnotist on his team. Like, that's just, come on. you know so yeah, so that's gonna conclude this video. And I'm gonna make another one about Myron, and then I'm gonna have a lot of segments later on about Andrew and all those people. But yeah, they're federal agents. They're a lot of the red pill men are federal agents and robots and clones made in a lab. And like I said, it should creep people out. And it should raise awareness and detriment that a bunch of federal agents are telling you to give up your rights, which I, of course, don't agree and don't accept, to give up my rights or our rights to Satan, Satanism, the devil, the Nazis, to any creepy cult, to any creepy organization. Cancel, delete, and clean.